As for the fan base, I just have to say that their reaction towards the leak has been completely unbelievable. If you're a hardcore fan of Arcane, then I'm pretty sure you already know what's happening with all the leaks. If you're a casual fan or if you're new here, then I'm going to give you all the important details so that you have the full picture of what happened during the leaks itself. I actually waited a while before posting this video so I could see how the story develops and I could sum it all up here. In the end, I even left some tips on how to ultimately avoid the leaks. Also, I want to warn you about some things that you have to watch out for during the next few days. So, here's how it started. In the beginning, there were only 3 leaks. Ranma 1 half, Dan the Dan, and Mononoke the movie. Ranma 1 half or Ranma half is a remake of an old anime and it has 3 episodes leaked. These episodes were 1, 3, and 4. Dan the Dan, in turn, is a new anime that was leaked with its opening song and its first 3 episodes. The worst that got it was the Mononoke movie, wherein the whole movie itself got leaked. Mind you, this was all on August 6, 2024. The very next day, August 7, 2024, it got even worse. Dan the Dan's 4th to 6th episodes were leaked to further the damage, and what's more, the Terminator anime in its entirety got leaked. Another big anime that got leaked was ReZero, with its first episode of the 3rd season being released early. It gets even more worse the next day, August 8, 2024. Now you have a SpongeBob movie, Plankton the movie, getting leaked, and of course, we now have the 5 episodes of Arcane being leaked as well. On August 9, 2024, it was confirmed that the post-publishing company that was hacked is called Iuno. It's actually a pretty well-connected dubbing company that also works with other streaming platforms. They had this to say about the leaks. We actually don't know how much worse it can get, so if anything happens, I'll be sure to cover it here in the future. As for the Arcane leaks, the silver lining is that of the 5 episodes that were leaked, none of them are complete and the quality is completely horrendous. The resolution of the episodes themselves are actually in 360p, so I can imagine that it's going to be extremely blurry and not enjoyable to look at. The images themselves are very grainy and undersaturated, meaning that they're going to look washed out. There's also this huge watermark in the middle of the screen and some text saying June 2023 on the bottom right or the bottom left of the screen. Aside from that, the whole screen is filled with technical jargon. That said, a lot of the events from episodes 1 through 5 have been exposed, so you can glean a lot of information and context clues from the clips that were released. So I suggest that you be careful while you scroll your feed. If you're wondering how I know this, well, I was a victim of someone posting it as their thumbnail here in YouTube. I blocked the channel already, but the damage has been done. I hope you don't have the same experience. I'm just thankful that it was just one frame, but man, you could really get a lot from it. Now, before you think, so what? They're just half-finished episodes we were going to see in 3 months anyway. Remember, a lot of people have poured years of their lives into these works. Companies have invested millions and maybe hundreds of millions of dollars and man-hours into these series. I mean, from what I've read, the estimates for Arcane Season 1 budget was over $90 million. I mean, can you imagine the kind of pressure that brings everyone involved? As Mappa Studios animator Cass Chapa said in a tweet, "This is our hard work. It is meant to be released on its due date, something we as animators really look forward to. It is incredibly disrespectful and just straight up annoying. You think you're doing some kind of service for the community, but you are not." For Riot Games, Arcane is one of the things that's keeping them alive right now. If you didn't know, Riot just laid off 11% of their workforce earlier this year. That's equivalent to 530 jobs. They themselves admit that their costs have become unsustainable and have said that they've left themselves with no room for experimentation or failure. To make it worse, one of their animation studios just closed its doors a few weeks ago. If Riot falls, the series and all its spin-offs will not come to fruition. Suffice it to say, Netflix is mad. Really, really mad. Later the same day, they released this statement. "One of our post-production partners has been compromised, and footage from several of our titles has unfortunately leaked online. Our team will be aggressively taking action to have it taken down." Remember, this has been announced as the final season of Arcane. However, it's also been announced that the wider world of Runeterra is going to be explored. That means a lot more champions, and as per Christian Link, a lot more tonalities are going to be explored, or at least they could have been. And I don't know about you, but I really want an Arcane-like series that deals with a lighter tone and see what they can do with that. Speaking of Christian Link, he and the co-creator of Arcane, Alex Yee, have literally poured a decade of their lives into Arcane. To have their dream project end up this way, it's just devastating. Christian Link even posted this on his Twitter, X, Twix, or whatever. Anyway, he posted this. As for the fan base, I just have to say that their reaction towards the leak has been completely unbelievable. Unbelievably wholesome and somewhat extreme. Since the leaks have come out, the moderators of the Arcane subreddit have been tirelessly working to expunge the subreddit of any spoilers coming from the leaks. You even have fans discouraging the spread of the leaked episodes, doing their best to stop the spread. The more extreme response for the fans is the closing of the Arcane subreddit. A poll was actually put up by the moderators if they should close the subreddit to avoid leaks. While I don't want to see any leaks, the subreddit is actually a big part of the experience for many fans, so closing it would be a shame. Unfortunately, some of the most impacted fans here are the theory crafters. Remember, it's one thing to theory craft and explore released publicity materials, and it's another thing to theory craft based on leaked and hacked materials. I mean, even the cast has been joking about being severely punished by the PR team if they said any spoilers. Overall, doesn't it just take the fun out of it? I mean, they put out one picture and the community goes berserk trying to find hidden meanings to it. 1-hour videos are spawned on YouTube, and amateur detectives grab their magnifying glasses and look at each minute detail of it. Well, now that's all compromised. Now, if you want to have fun with it, you can just check out the memes that have spawned because of the leaks. They're funny and they're harmless. You can look at this one, or this one, or this one. So you can really see and feel the sense of community that the Arcane fanbase has. You can especially feel the support of well-meaning fans for the cast, creators, Fortiche, and Riot. For what it's worth, I want to share some tips on how to avoid leaks online. And on my part, I will never post any spoilers or information that hasn't come from official sources. As far as I've read, the best way to make sense of these leaks are through frame-by-frame breakdowns. This is because of how bad the quality of the episodes are and because they're unfinished. So to avoid this, please be wary of platforms such as Twitter or X or maybe Twix, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and even thumbnails of YouTube theory videos. The biggest warning I have to give is that the spoilers are especially rampant on TikTok, so be careful on TikTok. For content like these, there isn't much that you can do but to scroll past them very, very fast. Remember, the frames from these leaks aren't clear and they have watermarks on them, so it won't register as quickly if you just scroll past it immediately. Like I said, theory crafting is part of the fun of speculating what happens next season, but we have no choice but to avoid them right now. We can't do that anymore because we've been robbed of that privilege. I'm sure that there are very well-meaning theory crafters and channels out there, but unless you trust them 100%, I suggest that you avoid them for now. Just for now. Trustworthy YouTube channels that I personally look to for Arcane stuff are Shni, TB Skyen, and Necrit. They're the big guns of the Arcane community, but as a small channel, I hope you can add me to your trusted list of sources. Please subscribe. And even with all this, there's something else to watch out for. The thing is, the hacker was able to get all of the episodes of Arcane. So they're basically holding them hostage. So watch out for that in the next few days. If you really want to avoid any kind of spoilers, I suggest that until the darkness looming over Piltover and the Undercity comes to consume you this November, you go out, bask under the sun, and touch some grass. I'm releasing a few Arcane videos over the next few weeks, and they're free from any spoilers from any leaked sources. I worked really hard on them, so I hope you can trust me enough to watch them. Anyway, whatever you do, peace and have a great day.